ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले प्रभुपादकी प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुभक्तराधाराज बिहारिभ्यं भक्तिभ्यश्चात्मदायिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1. We are now on text 6 or 7? 6. So, as I said, this is prose. I'm not able to recite. You brought your book? Oh, we've completed 4th. Huh? We started the 5th canto, just beginning. Let's read the Sanskrit now together. All right? Yarihi Vavaha Rajan Sarajaputra Priyavrata Parama Bhagavatu Naradasya Charanupashevayanjasa Vagata Paramrata Satatvo Brahma Satrena Dikshishyamano Vanitala Paripalana Yamnata Pravaraguna Ganekanta Bhajanataya Swapitra Pamartrito Bhagavati Vasudeva Eva Vyavadhana Samadhi Yogena Samaveshita Sakala Karaka Kriya Kala Puneva Bhyanandat Yadyapi Tat Apratyam Natavyam Tat Adhikarana Atmano Anyasmad Asatopi Parabhavam Anvikshamanaha. Alright, so Shukadeva Goswami continued. So the question that was being asked by Maharaj Parikshit. So he heard how King Priyavrat was a Naishtiki Brahmachari, right? But then he entered household life. So this is something that doesn't happen for a Naishtiki Brahmachari to enter household life. And he said that he has taken the decision that he doesn't want to have anything to do with this material world. So how is it that suddenly he plunged straight in the material entanglement? And it's described that this family life is like andhakupam. You can get a chair outside, right? Just get a chair. Yeah, so this family life is like andhakupam, and he went straight into it. How is that possible? How could he do that, and what happened to him? So Shukdev Goswami is answering this question and says, yes, ordinary people, when they enter household life, then they are completely lost in this, put it outside the carpet. Yeah.
Not on the carpet.
Yeah.
Not on the carpet.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So they are, ordinary people are lost in household life. But those who take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and Prabhupada quoted Nityananda, right? Those who take shelter of the lotus feet of Nityananda, then they are protected. They are protected from the andhakupam, the dark well of this material world. So now Shukadeva Goswami continued. My dear king, Prince Priyavrata was a great devotee because he saw the lotus feet of Narada, his spiritual master, and thus achieved the highest perfection in transcendental knowledge. With advanced knowledge, he always engaged in discussing spiritual subjects and didn't divert his attention to anything else. The prince's father then asked him to take charge of ruling the world. He tried to convince Priyavrata that this was his duty as indicated in the revealed scriptures. Prince Priyavrata, however, was continuously practicing bhakti yoga by constantly remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. Therefore, although the order of his father could not be rejected, the prince didn't welcome it. Thus, he very conscientiously raised the question of whether he might be diverted from devotional service by accepting the responsibility of ruling over the world. So you think of Bhishma Dev also, right? Bhishma Dev, he took that great vow. He was son of King Santanu, is it? So he took the vow of celibacy, no married life. But what did he do?
Stuck to the throne of
Kaurava. See what happened? All right. So it's like, right. And here we'll find what King Priyavrata did. So the question was that he's being given a duty. What that duty was? To rule the entire kingdom. So in order to rule the kingdom, he required to enter into household life. So it looks like he got caught, Bhishma Dev got caught, right? In this not fully understanding what is dharma. I think I have sent also in some group on this Mahabharata. One devotee was speaking of Mahabharata. So that question of Bhishma Dev also came up. Everybody, I hope you're reading Mahabharata. And in your groups, please teach Mahabharata. Yesterday we had a class. There were maybe 10 ladies, maybe more, all right? So I asked, what were the specific characteristics for which Dronacharya is known? Okay, let me ask this question here. What is the specific characteristic for which Dronacharya is known? What is his great quality?
Arjun was his favorite.
Yeah, that was his skill.
Despite knowing that, despite knowing he's Draupadi's brother, Drashtadyumna, knowing that he's going to kill him, despite that he taught him the art of archery.
See, she's teaching children. Smita, I'm just saying, all right? That was my point. Those who are teaching children, because we have to teach them Mahabharata characters, right? They know what is the specific characteristic of Dronacharya. None of these ladies could tell me what was his characteristic. They didn't even know the name of Drishtadyumna. All right. So all of you who are preaching, you can take kids' classes and teach Mahabharata. Yeah? All right. It's not a big thing, right? You're teaching? Teach Mahabharata.
You taught us a lot.
Sorry? Sorry?
How can we teach? Whatever you taught.
But all the time these personalities are coming now. No, I'm saying all the time these personalities come. We have discussed Draupadi, Duryodhan, Dronacharya. How many times we have spoken of Dronacharya? The very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is about all the Pandavas, and their characteristics is mentioned there. As soon as Drishtadyumna's name came up, Prabhupada wrote a full purport about him, right? So Bhishma, right? Now Bhishma, how he got caught? Completely caught. He took a vow, right? But he got messed up, right? And here we'll find how King Priyavrat, Prince Priyavrat, he didn't want to be king. His father's forcing him, take the kingdom, take the kingdom. So when he took the kingdom, he had to enter into household life. Right? So how did he maintain his Krishna consciousness? Therefore, although the order of his father could not be rejected, the prince didn't welcome it. Thus, he very conscientiously raised the question of whether he might be diverted from devotional service by accepting the responsibility of ruling over the world. So again, I'll draw the similarity and the difference also between Bhishma and King Priyavrat, right? Bhishma Dev, he refused to get married. Why?
Sorry?
Why did Bhishma Dev refuse to get married?
Because he promised his mother.
What?
Satyavati.
That's the external thing. So what is it?
Because he felt if he had a son, then that would be a problem to Satyavati's son.
Yeah, we know that. See here, Priyavrata, he's refusing on the basis of what?
On the spiritual side.
Yeah, and Bhishma Dev
on the material side.
Yeah. Alright? That's why there he failed and here he succeeded. You follow? Right? And that we had a whole session about this Bhishmadev when he came up in our class. Shri Narottam Das Thakur has sung. Did we not complete this? No? Charya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payache Keba. Without serving the lotus feet of a pure Vaishnava or spiritual master, no one has ever attained perfect liberation from material bondage. Prince Priyavrat regularly served the lotus feet of Narada, and thus the prince perfectly understood transcendental subjects. In truth, Sat Tattvaha, the word Sat Tattvaha means that Priyavrata knew all the facts about the spirit soul, the supreme personal Godhead, and the relationship between spirit soul and the supreme personality Godhead, and he also knew all about this material world and the relationship of the spirit soul and the supreme Lord within the material world. Thus, the prince decided to engage himself only in rendering service to the Lord. Clear? Alright? When Priyavrat's father Swayambhuva Manu requested him to accept the responsibility of ruling over the world, he didn't welcome the suggestion. This is the symptom of a great liberated devotee. Even though engaged in worldly affairs, he doesn't take pleasure in them, but remains always absorbed in the Lord's service. While thus serving the Lord, he deals externally with worldly affairs without being affected. For example, although he had no attraction for his children, he cares for them and educates them to become devotees. Similarly, he speaks to his wife with affectionate words, but he is not attached to her. By rendering devotional service, a devotee acquires all the good qualities of the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna had 16,000 wives, all of them very beautiful, and although he dealt with each of them as a beloved husband, he was not attracted or attached to any of them. In the same way, although a devotee may enter family life and act very affectionately towards his wife and children, he is never attached to these activities. What do you understand by this statement? Not attached, not attracted. What do we understand by this statement? The devotee or Krishna is not attached or attracted by his wife and children. What do you understand by this?
Because he knows the fact that everybody else is a spirit soul. So he's serving the children of Krishna, he's not serving them as a wife or a child.
Yeah. So what does attachment mean?
That you think that you are the proprietor and you are the controller and the owner.
Yes.
Attachment is all the things. But here they know that they are just the caretaker. Hence they are not.
And you think everything is for your? Yes,
Enjoy.
for your enjoyment. You see the difference? Alright. So just like now it's Ram Navami, right? It's Ram Navami. And it's like all the katha is about Ramchandra. And the description is given about how Ramachandra has all the 6 opulences, right? This is the symptom. That is a symptom of God, right? And what is the 6th opulence of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan? The 6th opulences?
Beauty, strength, all that. Faith.
Yeah. And what is the 6th opulence?
Renunciation.
Renunciation. All right, renunciation. See, if you take a person of this in this world, his aim here is only to dominate and control and possess, right? Isn't it? the Supreme Lord, who is the owner of the entire creation, both material and spiritual. He doesn't care to become your dominator. Right? Isn't it? Is it true? Is it true? That's why he's God and we are not God. Right? So here, so when the devotee, now somehow he had to enter into household life. And he has children, he has a wife, and he has a super large kingdom, which is the whole universe. King Priyavrat, the whole universe. He's not attached. Alright? So the word attachment meaning that he's thinking he's the owner, the controller, and the enjoyer, and the dominator of this material world. Understand this word attachment? It doesn't mean that he doesn't have affection. See the difference? He has affection, but he's not attached. This verse states that by serving the lotus feet of his spiritual master, Prince Priyavrat very soon attained the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness. This is the only way to advance in spiritual life. As stated in the Vedas, Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir Yatha Deve Tatha Guru Tasyate Kathita Hi Artha Prakashante Mahatmanaha. If one has unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, the essence of all Vedic knowledge is revealed to him. Shvetashvatar Upanishad 6.23. A devotee always thinks of the Lord continuously. While chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the words Krishna and Hare immediately remind him of all the Lord's activities. So when we are chanting, we remember Krishna. Anyway, such beautiful katha Vaishnava Ashray Maharaj is giving. Such super rasa. One Maharaj is here. Yeah, so he's giving this Ram Katha. And you should look at the face of the devotees. Yeah, he's speaking in Hindi, yes. Now you should just see the face of the devotees. They're like hanging on his words and enjoying like anything. Ram Katha, right? So this is what we are talking about. So Krishna came, he's telling stories I haven't heard before. Bal Ram Chandra, he sent out his kite. Did you hear that story? He sent out his kite, and that kite went so high, it got stuck in Indralok. I couldn't understand who, but somebody held that kite and wouldn't let it out. So then Ramchandra sent Hanuman. Anyway, you have to hear the story. I can't repeat it. Too much rasa. So Ramchandra sent Hanuman. Please go and check up what's going up there. Who has captured my kite? So in Indralok, that personality said, let the owner come. I want to see him. So he won't release that kite. Then Ramachandra said, no, I will meet in Chitrakut.
I will meet in
Chitrakut. Chitrakut. During Banvas. Anyway, I will send you again that all the katha is going on. A devotee always thinks of the Lord continuously while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. The words Krishna and Hare immediately remind him of all the Lord's activities. Since his entire life is engaged in the service of the Lord, a devotee cannot forget the Lord at any time. Just as an ordinary man always engages his mind in material activities, a devotee always engages his mind in spiritual activities. This is called Brahma Satra, or meditating upon the Supreme Lord always. Prince Priyavrat was perfectly initiated into this practice by Sri Narada. See, like Prabhupada, he has set up this institution to make us practice to remember Krishna, right? And the more you do service, everything you are doing for Krishna, the more you do it. So what will happen? You will start thinking like Krishna, right? Everything is only for him, nothing for you. And when an outsider will come, they can't understand what we are doing. They think that just the way they are, right?
They think we are mad. And we think they are mad.
Some
No.
of them do think we are a little off. Even at home, when you have typical material relatives come, the way we behave, it is as if the Lord is there. Food is cooked, it has to first get offered. Nobody should be this, that. We don't allow kids to do. Why are you doing like this? Why are you doing like that? He is a kid, you should allow him to do. But what we are trying to do is that discipline has to come from start, so that he knows that if it is cooked, it first has to go there. I want him, as he grows up, he should only say, Mama, give that, I will first keep it there and then I will eat. So I am developing him like that. For them, what are you doing? What is this? बच्चा तो नारायण है, बच्चा भगवान है, तुम उसको खाने नहीं देते हो. It's completely, my whole house goes, it goes 360 degrees. I sometimes feel we are cuckoo. She told me that you're not behaving right with your kid.
Yeah, and also this is one aspect. And then also that we are able to distribute books, right? That we engage in distributing books without a commission. Right? You must be getting a commission, that's why you're distributing the books. Right?
Once, I went to distribute books somewhere in Bandra. It was long back, Balaji had come from this Tirupati and they brought it here and we went to distribute the books. And what happened is we were distributing. Then a policeman comes and asks, how much commission do you get?
He thinks, yes, we are like them.
And then he himself came to buy when he realized that we are not getting anything and we are really struggling. He okay, humko de do.
Yes. Okay, text 7. These are very long. Athaha Bhagavan Adideva etasya guna vishargasya paribrimhanu nanu dhyana vyavasita sakala jagat abhipraya atmanunir akhila nigama nija guna parivesthita swabhavanad avattatara. Okay, you read now.
Translation by Divine Grace Prabhupada. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued, the first created being and the most powerful demigod in the universe is Lord Brahma, who is always responsible for developing universal affairs. Born directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he dedicates his activities to the welfare of the entire universe, for he knows the purpose of the universal creation. This supremely powerful Lord Brahma, accompanied by his associate and the personified Vedas, left his own abode in the higher planetary system and descended in the place of Prince Priyavrata's meditation. Purport: Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Self, Atma, is the source of everything, as explained in the Vedanta Sutra. Janmadi Asya. Because Brahma was born directly from Lord Vishnu, he is called Atma Yoni. He is also called Bhagwan, although generally Bhagwan refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Sometimes great personalities such as demigod like Lord Brahma, Narad or Lord Shiva are also addressed as Bhagwan because they carry out the purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma is called Bhagwan because he is secondary creator of this universe. He is always thinking of how to improve the situation of the conditioned souls who have come to the material world to enjoy material activities. For this reason, he disseminates the Vedic knowledge throughout the universe for everyone's guidance. Vedic knowledge is divided into two parts, Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. Nivritti Marg is the path of negating sense enjoyment, and Pravritti Marg is a path by which the living entities are given a chance to enjoy and at the same time are directed in such a way that they can go back home, back to Godhead. Because ruling over this universe is a great responsibility, Brahma must force many Manus in different ages to take charge of universal affairs. Under each Manu, there are different kings who also execute the purpose of Lord Brahma. It is understood from previous explanation that the father of Dhruv Maharaj, King Uttanapad, ruled over the universe because his elder brother Priyavrata practiced austerity from the very beginning of his life. Thus, up to the point of Pracheta, the king of the universe, were all descendants of Uttanapad Maharaj. Since there were no suitable king after the Pracheta, Swayambhu Manu went to Gandha Madana hill to bring back his eldest son. Priyavrata, who was meditating there, Swayambhu Manu requested Priyavrata to rule over the universe. When he refused, Lord Brahma descended from the supreme planetary system known as Satyaloka to request Priyavrata to accept the order. Lord Brahma did not come alone. He came along with other great sages like Marichi, Atre and Vashishta to convince Priyavrata that it was necessary for him to follow the Vedic injunction and accept the responsibility of ruling over the world. Lord Brahma also brought with him the personified Vedas, his constant associates. A significant word in this verse is Swabhavanath, indicating that the Lord Brahma descended from his own abode. Every demigod has his own abode. Indra, the king of demigod, has his own abode, as do Chandra, the lord of moon planet, and Surya, the predominating deity of the sun planet. There are many millions of demigods, and the stars and the planets are their respective homes. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Those who worship demigod go to their different planetary system. Lord Brahma's abode, the highest planetary system, is called Satyalok or sometimes Brahmalok. Brahmalok usually refers to the spiritual world. The abode of Lord Brahma is Satyalok, but because the Lord Brahma resides there, it is also sometimes called a Brahmalok.
Right, so much information is given here, right? So the first thing is that King Priyavrat, he's completely self-realized, right? So see, it's like by accident or whatever, we take birth in this material world, all right? By accident, by mistake, right? Some mistake that we have done. The soul suddenly, took a decision, come in this world. But then he realized where he is, and he changes. He changed the course of his life. So he has understood all this, and he said, I don't want to have anything with this material world. So even though he was the elder son of who? Swayambhuva Manu. And he didn't become emperor. Who became emperor? Uttanapad. Now we have read through the whole 4th canto, right, about King Uttanapad and his descendants. And we stop where? Prachetas. And here Prabhupada is saying that after the Prachetas, there were no suitable candidate to rule the world. So what to speak of today? How our world is being run, the mess, the big super mess that's going on on planet Earth, right? Can you understand this now? So Brahma had to go and force somebody, you have to become the ruler. So King Priyavrat didn't want to become ruler. So Lord Brahma himself, he came down and he had to force because ruling this universe is a great responsibility, right? Brahma must force many Manus in different ages to take charge of universal affairs. So why should I take so much headache, right? Don't want to do. So Lord Brahma had to come and force, you do. So because it's a responsibility, it's not that I dominate and capture and dominate and loot, plunder and loot, right? No, this is taking care of people, and mostly people don't want to follow. That's why it's a big responsibility, right? Everybody knows whoever's taken birth in this material world, they're not interested in Krishna consciousness, in following the laws of Dharma. They're not interested. So when you become the ruler, here you are, you have to go and force people, do. So he was not interested, but Lord Brahma came. So remember, Lord Brahma means Brahmanas. So Brahmanas meaning those who are studying the Vedas. So meaning that he's come to convince Priyavrat that whatever is being said is not adharma. It is in line with dharma. We are not coming to break your vow of Naishtiki Brahmacharya. There is some reason for it, and it is backed up by the Vedas. See how he's doing it. It's not like suddenly somebody came to create disturbance in his meditation and make him fall down. No. Right? Very nicely explained, no? The difference between a fall down and here doing a duty. Okay, let's venture into another reading of the text 8. Sattatra tatra ganana tala udupatir eva vimana valibhir unapatham amara parivriddhir abhi puja mana pathi cha varutha shah siddha Gandharva sadya charana muni ganer upagiyamano gandha madana dronim avabhasayan upasarpa. As Lord Brahma descended on his carrier, the great swan, all the residents of the planets named Siddhalok, Gandharvalok, Sadyalok and Chanarlok, as well as great sages and demigods flying in their different airplanes, assembled within the canopy of the sky to receive Lord Brahma and worship him. As he received respect and adoration from the residents of the various planets, Lord Brahma appeared just like the full moon surrounded by illuminating stars. Lord Brahma's great swan then arrived at the border of Gandhamadana hill and approached Prince Priyavrat, who was sitting there. It appears from this description that there is regular interplanetary travel between the planets of the demigods. Another significant point is that there is a planet covered mostly by great mountains, one of which is Gandhamadana hill. Three great personalities, Priyavrat, Narada and Swayambhuva Manu, was sitting on this hill. According to Brahma Samhita, each universe is filled with different planetary systems, and every system has a unique opulence. For example, on Siddhalok, all the residents are very advanced in the powers of mystic yoga. They can fly from one planet to another without airplanes or other flying machines. So they just appeared, like it shows in all those Hindi movies. The person just appeared and then disappeared. They just Siddha Lok. Right. Similarly, the residents of Gandharva Lok are expert in musical science, and those in Sadhya Lok are all great sims. The interplanetary system undoubtedly exists, and residents of different planets may go from one to another, just like we travel from India to US to UK. So this is across the planets. On this earth, however, we have not invented any machine that can go directly from one planet to another. Although an unsuccessful attempt has been made to go directly to the moon. But was unsuccessful, okay? Text 9. Tatraha vaenam devashihamsa yanena pitaram bhagavantam Hiranyagarbham upalabhamana saha shaiva thayarhanena saha pita putrabhyam avahitanjalir upathaste. Lord Brahma, the father of Narad Muni, is the supreme person within this universe. As soon as Narada saw the great swan, he could understand that Lord Brahma had arrived. If you see a great swan flying in the sky, you should know. Lord Brahma has had, oh my God, we don't deserve it, so we don't see him, right? But don't worry, he's completely in charge of planet Earth, right? Lord Brahma is the creator, he's the main administrator of planet Earth. Just like I heard during one of the main wars, I think Second World War, or First World War, whatever it was. So all this war in Russia and all this, how was it stopped? They didn't stop fighting. Anybody knows how it stopped? To the cold. Cold. Yes. So meaning that Lord Brahma is in charge. Alright? When two parties are fighting so much and nobody can stop them, then nature, alright? Nature interferes. So here you see Lord Brahma is just appearing now. Okay? Lord Brahma, the father of Narad Muni, the supreme person within this universe. As soon as Narada saw the great swan, he could understand that Lord Brahma had arrived. Therefore, he immediately stood up along with Swayambhuva Manu and his son Priyavrat, whom Narada was instructing. Then they folded their hands and began to worship Lord Brahma with great respect. So, Guru on one side, right? Guru on one side instructing disciple, then fathers coming say, give me back my son. Right, give me back my son. And Priyavrat is saying, no, Papa. I'm not going back. I'm not going. Then the grandfather came, Lord Brahma came. As stated in the previous verse, Lord Brahma was accompanied by other demigods. But his specific carrier was a great swan. Therefore, as soon as Narad Muni saw the swan, he could understand that his father, Lord Brahma, see who he is, Brahma's father of who? Narada and? Yeah, alright. So here, see, who's interfering now? Who's also known as Hiranyagarbha was arriving. Thus he immediately stood up with Swayambhuva Manu and his son Priyavrata to receive Lord Brahma and offer respect. So the senior came. It's a very dicey situation. See, remember we read from the second canto, right, how this creation happened, second and third canto. Because all of us, we were stuck in the body of Mahavishnu with so many desires. And all those desires made the body of Lord Mahavishnu appear bluish. Right? Bluish, dark desire, calm, right? So the body of Lord Vishnu became bluish. Then Lord Vishnu had to put them out, right? Put them out where? So Lord Brahma had to create, right? So then he created the universe. Now you've done the creation, now who will govern? Right? Who will govern? So that's his problem, meaning unending headache, right? But anyway, Lord Brahma also wanted this type of headache, right? Remember we read about that? He's somebody who wants to take this type of work. Text 10. Bhagavan api bharata tad upani tarhana shukta vakena titaram udita guna gunavatara sujaya priyavartam adi purushastam sadaya hasava loka iti hovacha. Okay. Yes.
Translation. My dear King Parikshit, because Lord Brahma had finally descended from Satyalok to Bhulok, Narad Muni, Prince Premvarta and Swayambhu Manu came forward to offer him objects of worship and to praise him in highly qualified language according to Vedic etiquette. At that time, Lord Brahma, the original person of this universe, felt compassion for Priyamvrata and looking upon him with a smiling face, spoke to him as follows. Purport. That Lord Brahma descended from Satyalok to see Priyamvarta indicates that the matter was very serious. Narad Muni had come to advise Priyamvarta about the value of spiritual life, knowledge, renunciation and bhakti. And Lord Brahma knew that Narad's instructions were very impressive. Therefore, unless Lord Brahma personally went to Gandhamadana hill to request Priyamvarta, Lord Brahma knew that Prince Priyamvarta would not accept his father's order. Brahman's purpose was to break Priyamvarta's determination. Therefore, Brahma first looked upon Priyamvarta with compassion. His smile and compassionate features also indicated that although Brahma would request Priyamvarta to accept household life, Priyamvarta would not be out of touch with devotional service. By the blessings of a Vaishnava, everything is possible. This is described in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu as Kripa Siddhi, or perfection attained simply by the blessings of a superior person. One usually becomes liberated and perfect by executing the regulative principles set down in the Shastras. Nonetheless, many persons have achieved perfection simply by the blessing of a spiritual master or superior. Priyamvarta was a grandson of Lord Brahma, and as joking competition sometimes takes place between grandson and grandfather, in this case also Priyamvarta was determined to remain in meditation, whereas Brahma was determined that he ruled the universe. Thus, Lord Brahma's affectionate smile and glance meant, "My dear Priyavarta, You decided not to accept household life, but I have decided to convince you that you must not. I have decided to convince you that you must accept it. Actually, Brahma had come to praise Priyamvarta for his high standard of renunciation, austerity, penance, devotion, so that he would not be deviated from devotional service, even though he would accept household life. In this verse, one important word is Suktavakena, the Vedic hymns. In the Vedas, there is the following prayer to Lord Brahma. Hiranyagarbha samvartatagre bhutasya jata patir eka asit. Brahma was received with the appropriate Vedic hymns, and because he was welcomed according to the Vedic etiquette, he was very pleased.
Hare Krishna. So, okay, now text 11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Nibodha tatate ritam pravimi Maishuyitam devam arhasya prameyam Vayam bhavaste tata esham maharshir Vahama sarve vivashayasya dishtam. Rashmi.
Translation. Lord Brahma, the Supreme Person within this universe, said, "My dear Priyavrat, kindly hear attentively what I shall say to you. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord, who is beyond our experimental measurements. All of us, including Lord Shiva, your father, and the great sage Maharishi Narad, must carry out the orders of the Supreme. We cannot deviate from his order." Purport. Of the 12 great authorities in devotional service, 4, Lord Brahma himself, his son Narad, Swayambhuva Manu, and Lord Shiva were present before Priyavrat. They were accompanied by many other authoritative sages. Brahma first wanted to impress upon Priyavrat that although these great personalities are all authorities, they cannot possibly disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described in this verse as Deva, which means always glorious. The power, glory, and potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be diminished. In the Ishopanishad, the Lord is described as Apapa Vidha, which indicates that he is never affected by anything materially considered sinful. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as being so powerful that nothing we might consider abominable can affect him. An example sometimes given to explain the position of the Supreme Lord is that of the sun, which evaporates urine from the earth but is never affected by contamination. The Supreme Lord can never be accused of doing anything wrong. When Lord Brahma went to induce Priyavrat to accept the responsibility for ruling the universe, he did not go whimsically. He was following the dictations of the Supreme Lord. Indeed, Brahma and other genuine authorities never do anything without his permission. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tene Brahma Hridyadi Kavaye. The Lord dictated Vedic knowledge to Brahma through his heart. The more a living entity is purified by devotional service, the more he comes in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Lord Brahma, therefore, had not come to Priyavrat by his own whims. Rather, it is understood that he had been ordered to persuade Priyavrat by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities cannot be understood by material senses and who is described herein as a prameya. Thus, Lord Brahma first advised Priyavrat to hear his words with attention and without envy. Why one is induced to perform certain acts despite his desire to do something else is indicated herein. One cannot disobey the orders of the Supreme Lord, even if one is as powerful as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Manu, or the great sage Narad. All these authorities are certainly very powerful, but they do not have the power to disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Lord Brahma had come to Priyavrat in accordance with the orders of the Supreme Lord, he first wanted to dispel any suspicions that he might be acting as Priyavrat's enemy. Lord Brahma was following the orders of the Supreme Lord, and therefore it would be worthwhile for Priyavrat to accept Lord Brahma's order as the Lord desired.
So we can see that ruling this universe is not very pleasurable, right? Even though people are fighting to become kings and monarchs, right? Dictators, but actually it's not very pleasant because everybody wants to take your place, right? Everybody wants to dominate you. So the spiritual world is completely different. This material world, see, because King Priyavrat, he's a person of good sense, right? The one say, I don't want to do this, because he knows what we already read, what King Prithu had to do, right? It was a very good example of what he had to face. He had to face Indra, he had to face Mother Earth, he has to shoot his arrows so that Mother Earth will give her goodies, right? Then he had to deal with this one, that one. So everybody knows. He said, why should I get into all this?
Why
Right?
Brahma was insisting so much to Priyavrat to do the plan?
Why he was insistent? Because there was nobody more qualified. So that was a special qualification. That's what I'm describing now. That it is such a thing to rule this world. Because by nature, people, whoever have taken birth in this material world, they are rebellious souls, right? By nature. The best of all, they're still a rebellious soul, right? And sooner or later, all goodness will be over and all our Rajogun and Tamogun becomes manifested, right? So he didn't want to deal with all this. But because he was so qualified, right? As a devotee, he was not attached to position, to the place, to the work. That was his great qualification. We already read about, was it King Vena? You read about King Vena, right? Oh yeah, Maharaj Prithu's father, right? King Vena, we already saw what he did, right? So here, so that's why he was, just Arjuna also said, I don't want this kingdom. And that's why Krishna said, you are the fit ruler, right? Krishna forced him, no, you must fight. You must fight and gain this kingdom because they're highly qualified. So here, same thing. Lord Brahma says, and he said, this is the desire of the Supreme Lord, you are qualified. And we read in the previous purport, Prabhupada says, all the time Lord Brahma has to go chasing around, who will become ruler of the universe, right? He has to force, you have to take, right?
Is Lord Brahma feeling that Priyavrat is jealous?
No, he's saying don't be
jealous.
No, he said don't be, meaning that you should know you should know that this is the order of the Supreme Lord. So do you think you know better than the Supreme Lord? Alright, if he like Arjuna, right? Arjuna said, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want this kingdom. I don't want this, let them take it. And Krishna said, is it your kingdom? Is it my kingdom? Right? Are you the supreme proprietor or am I the supreme proprietor? Right? So you do it for me because this is my kingdom and I only want you to be the instrument. Right? Same here. And we already saw the Kauravas were fully attached and Arjuna was fully detached but not sufficiently detached. Then after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he became genuinely detached. Right? See, it's all very, very subtle. So that's why I'm saying that sattva is not sufficient. Shuddha sattva, real sattva, do it on behalf of Krishna. This is the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And here we're going into the details through the life story of these kings. Text 12. Natasya kaschit tapasa vidyayava na yoga viryena manishayava neva tadharme parata swatova kritam vihantum tanu brid vibhuyat. Yes.
Translation. One cannot avoid the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not by the strength of severe austerities and exalted Vedic education or the power of mystic yoga, physical prowess or intellectual activities. Nor can one use his power of religion, his material opulence or any other means, either by himself or with the help of others, to defy the orders of the Supreme Lord. This is not possible for any living being from Brahma down to the end. Purport. In the Garg Upanishad, Garga Muni says to his wife, Itesya va ek sarasya prasasane gargi surya chandra masva vidrat masvo vidro tistatha. My dear Gagi, everything is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the sun, the moon and other controllers and demigods like Brahma and King Indra are all under his control. An ordinary human being or animal who has accepted a material body cannot go beyond the jurisdiction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's control. A material body includes senses. However, the sense activities of so-called scientists who try to be free from God's law or the laws of nature are useless. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Mama Maya Duratyaya. It is impossible to surpass the control of the material nature, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is working behind it. Sometimes we are proud of our austerities, penances and mystic yogi powers, but it is clearly stated herein that one cannot surpass the laws and directions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, either by dint of mystic power, a scientific education, or austerities and penances. It is impossible. The word manasya, by intelligence, is of special significance. Priyavrat might argue that Lord Brahma was requesting him to accept family life and the responsibility for ruling a kingdom, although Narad Muni had advised him not to enter household life and be entangled in material affair. Whom to accept would be a puzzle for Priyavrat, because both Lord Brahma and Narad Muni are authorities. Under the circumstances, the use of the word Manisai is very appropriate, for it indicates that since both Narad Muni and Lord Brahma are authorized to give instruction, Priyavrat should neglect neither of them but should use his intelligence to follow the advice of both. To solve such dilemma, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a very clear conception of intelligence. He says, Anashaktasya Vishyan Yatharama Upayunjata Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. Vishayan, material affairs should be accepted without attachment, and everything should be done with the service of the Lord. That is real intelligence. Manisha. Becoming a family man or king in the material world is not harmful if one accepts everything for Krishna's service. That necessitates clear intelligence. Mayavadi philosopher says, Brahma Satyam Jaga Mithya. This material world is false and only the absolute truth is real. However, an intelligent devotee in the line of Lord Brahma and the great sage Narad, or in other words, in the Brahma Sampradaya, does not consider this world false. That which is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
How everything was, from Mahabharata we know how each of these the adversaries, very powerful adversaries, how they were disposed of. Karna, Dronacharya, so many of them, right? Jayadratha, everyone, like by tricks, basically. And who ordered all this? Krishna, Krishna, he ordered, Arjuna, you do this. Yudhishthira, you do this, right? By tricks. Actually, these were the law of karma. Because nobody can figure out how the law of karma will hit us. Right? The law of karma comes in a very distorted way. So, it's so that it's fine, I'm dharmic, Karna is on the chariot. It's against dharma, he's down from the chariot. And Arjuna is on a chariot. And Krishna told Arjuna, you shoot him. Right? Karna said, this is not dharma. And what does Krishna say?
Whatever I say is dharma.
Huh?
All of them together was the intention.
Yes. He said, so dharma protect those who follow dharma. Right? So you speak of dharma now, right? It's like the thief, this is not dharma. It's not the rule. So here, when the Supreme Lord is giving an instructions, so it's like Arjuna cannot think, right? Because if he thinks, the mind is chanchal, right? So he has to accept the order of Krishna. That's why being Krishna conscious is so important. Because if you don't accept Krishna's plan, his idea, you will accept somebody else's idea. Right?
How to identify Krishna's plan?
So we have to study. That's why we're studying here. Right? And we read somewhere else, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. The super soul will tell us whether this is correct or not. Right? And we are doing something. Just like I heard a story again from the Mahabharata. Like when Draupadi, she was won by Arjun, right? All the 5 Pandavas, they went in the house, and Mother Kunti didn't see, right? He said, you share among all of you, right? And they were all like shocked, right? And then, so this Prabhuji is saying that Yudhishthira felt this is not a dharma. This is correct. This is correct. Right? Then Vyasadeva came and said, yes, this is correct. So this is how it works. So if we are doing something wrong, million people will tell you this is wrong. Right? This is the word of the super soul. Right?
Mataji, when Draupadi was insulted in the assembly,
Yeah.
so she is an eternal associate of Krishna. So it is Krishna's plan then, or her karma. It is his plan, you would say.
Well, see, I don't know the details of who she is exactly, but definitely I can say that the Mahabharata is a page of Kali Yuga. Right? Like what is happening today is what you are saying in Mahabharata, right? Meaning the woman being disrobed. And this is how every day you are seeing on the street, right? The women are walking bottomless and topless today, right? Shamelessly, happily, right? The mothers are buying the clothes for the daughters, right? So this is adharma. So Krishna's teaching, if you walk around without clothes, this is adharma. And because of this, the war of Mahabharata took place. Right? Because of disrobing Draupadi. The vow that the Pandavas took, right? And that's what also Krishna reminded Karna. Who gave the idea, disrobe her? Karna. Right? You speak of dharma now. You gave the order. You gave the idea. So, see, like we have heard again and again, that Krishna comes with his troop, right? To put on the show, right? To teach the world what to do, what not to do. And the consequences of action. So, because of this act, all these Kauravas became capital punishment. Right? It was actually capital punishment that they did something like this. And just imagine who she is. She's a queen. She's not a street woman, right? She's a queen, and who are doing all this type of thing? Royal people. Right? Royal people. Great instruction from that scene. So definitely it's not Krishna who told them do this, right? But this is what they do. It's the type of thing they do, and we're saying it. So that's why we keep hearing Prabhupada saying that in this Kali Yuga, right now, it's the demons who are ruling the earth. So they do this type of thing. That's their style, right? And nobody can stop it. Whatever has started, nobody can stop it. But those who are sufficiently fortunate, if they are studying Mahabharata, at least they can follow something. Right? Can understand the consequence. So, we are in which text? I forgot where we are. 12, yeah. Yeah, so the first section was about obeying the order of the Supreme Lord. The second section is about now that you should know that the Supreme Lord will never ask you to do something that is detrimental for you. And there are two parties, and both of them are superiors. So therefore, it's like that one person, he needs to know how to satisfy both, because both are correct. Right? Both are correct. Narad Muni is correct and the father is also correct. So Lord Brahma came and said, you decide. Right? And how will he decide? So, therefore, we need to know properly the Shastras. Again coming to this disrobing Draupadi, right? So, Draupadi went to Bhishma Dev, right? And Bhishmadev is looking in the books. I don't know whether in dharma is allowed or is not allowed. Whose property are you? Who do you belong to, right? I mean, that's why everybody gets so upset. It's a simple question of dignity, right? You are sitting and looking at the books, right? So therefore, so if you are devotee, right? You are devotee. You don't go and look in the books. You do what is human, right? So here, so what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour that you need an emperor. And if you don't become the emperor, then Krishna described to Arjuna what will happen. Arjuna argued. He said, if I will fight, then I'm going to destroy the Kula Dharma. The woman will fall down, and the ancestors won't get their pinda, etc., etc. And Krishna said, if you don't fight, then all these things are going to happen. Right? This is what Krishna told Arjuna. You think you're speaking like great Pandit, but if you do not fight, you do not capture this this whole planet, then all whatever you have described, this is when it will happen. So same here. So the Supreme Lord is saying, King Priyavrata, if you do not take charge of the universe, people will become completely adharmic. Therefore, you must rule. So therefore, good intelligence means how to use material things in Krishna's service. Not like the Mayavadi said, this material world is all mithya. Let me have nothing to do with it. Right? So that's how Srila Prabhupada also illustrated the same principle. When he went to the West, he wanted to preach Krishna consciousness. What did he see there? You see the boys and girls, boyfriend and girlfriend. What did he do as a sannyasi? He got them married. Right? According to the books, sannyasis are not allowed to perform any yajna for grihasthas. Alright? You understand? That he said, my Guru Maharaj has ordered me to come to the West and preach Krishna consciousness. Right? He said that Vedic tradition is that the boys, they come to Gurukul. Girls don't come to Gurukul. Prabhupada, when he saw what was happening there, what did he do? He opened the doors to both the girls and the boys. Right? He broke the rules, right? But he succeeded, right? So he put them on the path of dharma, and when the time came when they could do it, then he left it, right? So this is what manishaya, by intelligence. So Prabhupada, I think to Giriraj Swami. So Prabhupada asked this question literally when he's about to leave this world. He says, how will this movement go on, ISKCON? In only 10 years, Prabhupada set up this movement. He asked, how will this movement go on? Giriraj Swami says, if we are sincere. What did Prabhupada reply?
We need to be sincere.
What did Prabhupada, do you know? He's Giriraj Swami's disciple, reading his books or what? Prabhupada replied by intelligence and organization. Alright? Intelligence and organization. So, manishaya, by intelligence. Right? So, it's not that everything is happening automatically, So let the demons take over the universe, right? While the devotee will sit aram se and do bhajan. Right? That's what's going on here. So Lord Brahma said, no. No. You have to protect the universe. You have to rule the universe. So it's a question of personal gain or the gain of the people. Right? Bhajanandi and Goshthanandi. And for that matter, he had to enter household life, because to rule, as we're going to read, requires mode of passion. Kshatriyas,
Bhajanandi are the ones who sit in one place, and Goshthanandis are the ones who go on and teach all.
So he's a Kshatriya, right? And he needs descendants, right? How will the line continue? They have to produce another devotee who will take charge of the universe, right? My God, what responsibility. You think we are just living on a piece of land, you know? We don't even realize what's going on in this world. How much administration is going on in this world. Now we are reading from Bhagavatam, we are understanding. So we think it's such a big thing, you know, these countries are attacking and killing another country. Actually, you can see there are others who are watching them, right? We believe we are all free, do what I like, speak what I like. But here, Lord Brahma, you need to watch. Individually, personally, globally, everybody is under control.
Mataji, you know, previously I respected Srila Prabhupada, but I did not appreciate what he has done. Even though I was reading his books, that appreciation was not there. For the last 2 years, I'm trying to teach these 5-6 ladies. So though they have Indian skin, they have no roots in India. They are all 2nd, 3rd generation Indians. So they have no connection with India. So to teach those 5 people, so much difficulty I can see. So then I understand these 5 ladies, sometimes I get so frustrated with all 5 of them. So imagine, then I can appreciate what he has done. And these ladies are at least covering themselves, and they are educated people. He went and he spoke to drug addicts, druggies, hippies. What a mammoth task.
Yeah.
5 ladies I cannot handle. And then one of them came to me and she said to me, I'm becoming depressed by reading Bhagavad Gita.
That's the first sign. It's okay.
She said, I am becoming depressed because first I was happily enjoying life. But now I can see we have reached the 7th chapter. Now they are appreciating, they're chanting, but now I don't know what she's experiencing. I did not say anything, I just had to listen to her. She said, I feel very depressed. So I asked her, will you stop attending? She said no.
She's awakening to the reality of the world. Awakening to the reality of the world.
Like previously there was no concept of soul, transmigration. There was no concept of all that. So happy.
Now they're waking up. All right, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. It's not that easy when we are reading Bhagavatam, right? We thought we'll just, run through everything, but every text we are pulling. Yeah, there's too much. Hare Krishna, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.